Hey everybody, it's Chris Loud. Today I'm going to be working on an abstract piece that is based off of a photograph, and I'll put that photograph up in the corner here. I have not really planned this too much, but you know, I was looking at my phone and I had so many images from this past year that I've taken while out on walks or in different places, and realized that I don't really know why I took those pictures. Or, I took a picture and it was one that, at the time, maybe it was a landscape or something, and it was just magnificent, and the image really did not portray that. So I was looking back at some of the photographs on my phone, and I started thinking, I took these for a reason. Let's see if I can, get some inspiration from some of these. So I'm going to start off by just doing a quick sketch on this canvas panel, just an inexpensive canvas panel, and I'm just going to start working on shapes. So really, I think the piece of that image that kind of drew me in was not that it was peaches, it was that it was the shapes and the stripes. So these circles and this blue and white stripes. So I thought I would go ahead and see if I can't go through my phone sometime at the end of the year, kind of looking back at the past year, and see if what images I have that maybe I could take some inspiration from, especially looking at those images that I have no idea I have no idea why I took them, or maybe they just did not capture what I was trying to take a picture of. So I don't really know what I'm doing here on this. I'm just playing. I'm just exploring this one. So I'm going to use this little piece of a sponge at first and just see if I can get some good stripes in here. And I'm not gonna worry too much about what I just painted over, and that is a little too wet. So the sponge might not work real well for me. I think I am going to switch that up and use a brush. So I'm going to use a flat brush here and just start playing. Get some of these stripes on here. I might have made these a little too wide, but that's okay. We're just gonna see what comes out of these. I'm actually going to let that dry really quick and then come back and put some tape down, I think, and kind of explore it with some stripes with tape. So let me let this dry. So I sped this portion up here so you didn't have to watch me slowly put tape down. I'm going to use ultramarine blue, titanium white, and a little cadmium yellow for the stripes, and then take a palette knife to scrape a little of that back. Okay, so that's dry enough. I used a hair dryer and worked on getting that as dry as I could. But I don't want to spend too much time on this, since this is more just kind of an exploratory, almost sketch I'm doing here. All right, and then I'm also going to clean this brush and get a little bit of this alizarin crimson and kind of get the outline of these going again. And I'm trying not to hold it too tight. I'm holding at the very end of the brush, shaking my hand just a little bit because I don't want real clean circles. Of course, not that these are real clean, but they're cleaner than I was hoping for. So I might roughen those up a little bit here. So right now, again, not loving what I'm seeing, but we're playing. And I'm gonna work on that middle stripe now, the white stripes, the white stripes. And I'm just going to try and lay a little of that down. So there's a little bit more color, and I think that red will probably bleed with it a little bit, yeah. And I'm not worried too much about this going over into the blue stripe. Adding a little bit of white into that. And kind of lightening it up as I go with a little more white. And I am absolutely fine with that red kind of bleeding and blending with the white and yellow that I'm putting down. So usually at this time of year, you know, we all start looking back and kind of reflecting on the year a little bit. And, you know, I like to go back and look at pictures. And as I was looking at pictures, I started thinking about, you know, all these pictures I was seeing that I took. And a lot of them had to do with landscapes. You know, as I'm walking, I'm taking pictures and I'm looking, thinking, I really don't see what I was taking a picture of. And then, you know, as you zoom in, you start seeing things. So I'll show you a picture here of a little bit of a landscape as I was walking. And then the sketch I did, this is just a charcoal sketch that I did of that. Now, when you first look at this sketch, you don't see, you know, I didn't notice what I was actually taking a picture of, and it was these dried sunflower stalks and heads. And so I had to zoom in to see that. And then once I saw that, I thought, okay, well, that's what I was taking a picture of. I just, you know, when I was out moving around, took a real quick picture, didn't look at it again, and kind of missed what I was taking a picture of. So I'm glad I kind of zoomed in and played with that a little bit more, because then I saw those well, basically what I was taking a picture of. All right. I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing here. This looks very familiar, very similar to another painting that I did. I was playing with not too long ago. I'm gonna do a little bit of scratching here, just a little bit on the edges. I actually don't like that. I'm gonna cover that back up. Okay, a little more of this white on here, and I'm gonna let that dry, and we're gonna come back and reestablish those circles and see if we can't make something of this. Okay, that's pretty dry there. I decided I'm going to add a little bit more with the stripes. So I'm going to put this yardstick down and just kind of come along it and add another stripe in here. And I think that is actually not looking like what I wanted, but we'll go with it. Again, we're kind of experimenting here. I need to not press quite so hard on that brush when I'm, okay, yeah, get a few more stripes in here and see if I can't do it a little softer. And this might not work out the way that I'm thinking, but that's kind of what this is all about. Kind of experimenting, trying some new things, and exploring kind of a little bit of this composition. Do I like that? So far, I can't say that I do. I think this brush I'm using is probably a poor choice. It's I think a number 6 round. Probably should have gone with something a little smaller or taped it off. But we're going to keep going and just keep playing with it. Maybe not so much water on this one. Again, I'm just trying to figure out if this is something I want to pursue on a larger painting. I think I'm going to leave that last one open just for a little variation there. All right, I'll dry this real quick. Okay, I think that's dry enough. For the sake of time, because again, I'm just playing here. I just want to kind of explore and see if this is something I want to do. I'm going to actually use some charcoal to reestablish these circles here, or circular shapes, I should say. I'm going to grab a softer piece of charcoal here, and then start working those a little bit and adding some paint. And kind of smudge that just a little bit, and you can see the kind of the teeth of this canvas kind of coming through as I smudge that. All right. Okay. I think these circles probably would have been better had I not added so many. So I'm going to attempt to wipe one of those away a little bit. See if I can not remove too much of paint as I do it. Still there, but I think I can get the paint on there. Yeah, I think I like that better without that one on there. All right, let's see if I can get a little of that white reestablished where I painted. Looks good enough, I think. All right, so now the question is, what do I want to do with these shapes? Since I've got blue, I think I'm going to go ahead and try and do a bit of more of a orangish red, maybe kind of a rust color, and really kind of, I guess I wasn't planning on kind of following the colors of that image, but at this point I think I'm going to just keep going with it and see if I can't get a little bit of form on these. So I'm not sure this is actually going to be all that abstract. Now I can look at this and think, okay, well, what would my focal point be on these? And that's a good question. Let's put a little light down and see. Could that one be my focal point? Could be. Don't necessarily need a focal point on this. I mean, it's kind of, again, patterns and shapes. If I'm going to do some form, I think I better establish where my light is coming from. So I think I'm actually going to change and have the light coming from this way. So I'm using Windsor, excuse me, not Windsor blue. I'm using, I always get those mixed up for some reason, Payne's gray with a little alizarin crimson in this to just darken that alizarin crimson. I'm going to add a little bit of this ultramarine blue as well. And again, I'm not being too precious with this. Yeah, not loving this, and that's okay. Do I think there's something there? Yes. Am I doing a good job of bringing that into being? Maybe not. But that's what doing this exercise is all about. Figuring out what's there, what isn't there, what we need to change, what we need to do different. Just like that circle, didn't like that, so I'm gonna move that out. Again, just doing real quick, and I'll blend a little bit with my excuse me, with my fingers here. Yeah, don't love it, don't hate it. It's very rough, and that's okay. I'm gonna clean brush here, and a little bit of this yellow. This is a cad yellow light, and a little bit of titanium white. And a little bit of quick blending here. Just turned into exactly what I was not thinking I was going to be doing. A striped platter with some peaches on it, but that kind of gives a rough look of what this is. So I actually do like that. It's excuse me, got a frog in my throat here. A little bit more charcoal and kind of get a little bit of a border. I don't normally like to do that, but on this, you know, I want to play and see kind of how things look. And then I can always kind of blend that charcoal a little bit. Just again, see how that's going to look if I do. I actually like that. Oddly enough, I kind of pivoted here. Let's see what that looks like in different orientations. A lot closer, more representational to that image than I was expecting. But gosh, pardon me. I actually like that. So if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great holiday, and keep on painting.